Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube NFL prediction segment. I'm going to be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 12 of the 2019 NFL season. Now, first thing up is I'm going to take Houston at home over the Indianapolis Colts. Houston right now 3-1 at home. They were deplorable last week, and I just don't see them duplicating what they did in the previous week. I just don't think they're going to be that bad 2 weeks in a row. It's going to be redemption time for the Houston Texans. Indianapolis does have a short week on the road, just 2-2 on the road this season. They're allowing, and the defense is not terrible for Indianapolis. They're allowing like 20.6 points per game. And I think you look at the rushing game. I mean, the run defense with Indianapolis is not bad. The defense with Indy will make this game competitive, but I think Houston right now is going to be a little incensed, a little angry after what they did last week, and they're still very good, formidable home team. And looking at this, I think Deshaun Watson is going to redeem himself and play well in front of the home crowd. And Indianapolis is going to have a little tough time, again, being on the road in a short week. I like Houston at home in this one. Next game, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons at home to defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Should I say resurgent Falcons? They've won two straight games right now, and they've outscored the opposition 55-12 in that span. They played very well over the last 2 weeks, defeating New Orleans and Carolina, respectively. Tampa Bay right now, I mean, they're just struggling. They've been struggling all season, basically. They've lost 5 of their last 6. They're allowing over 31 points per game right now. They're dead last in scoring defense, just 2-3 on the road, and they're near the bottom in terms of passing yards allowed per game. I think Matt Ryan, Julio Jones are going to have a field day on that Tampa Bay secondary. So I like Atlanta to get this done at home. Next game, I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills at home to defeat the Denver Broncos. Buffalo right now, they've been one of the more consistent teams in the NFL over the last season and a half or so. I mean, over the last 17 games, I should say, 11-6 going back to last season, 3-2 at home. Right now, and they are a team right now, as far as 2019, 3-2 at home, number 3 scoring defense. Denver right now just 1-4 on the road this season. Their defense will make this game fairly competitive, I believe, though. They're number 8 in scoring defense. But I think what I'm skeptical of is the quarterback for Denver, Brandon Allen. I mean, he had a great first half against Minnesota last week, then didn't do much in the second half. I think the jury is still out on him. Denver's pass defense was exploited somewhat last week. They gave up 284 passing yards to Kirk Cousins and company. So I'm not really sold on them right now, and I think right now Buffalo is just simply the better team, got a little bit better defense, and I do like them to get this done in this game. So I'm going to take Buffalo to win this one at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Chicago Bears at home to defeat the New York Giants. The Chicago Bears, 2-3 at home this season. Not a great home team, but they're going against the Giants right now, and the Giants right now, they just have such a tremendous propensity to turn the ball over. -12 turnover differential. Chicago's +4 turnover differential. Chicago's defense will be the difference, I believe, in this game. They're one of the better scoring defenses in the NFL. They're just allowing about 17 points per game. And I mean, as bad as Trubisky has been, if he's even playing in this game, I think he's going to be a little bit better than Daniel Jones for the Giants. Daniel Jones had those 2 really good games for the Giants, but hasn't really done much since. Yeah, the Giants did put up some points against the Jets the last time the Giants actually played, but can they really? How much are they going to be able to do against these more of a vaunted Chicago Bears defense in this game? I just don't see it happening. Giants have lost 6 consecutive games. They're 1-4 on the road this season. Giants are just simply reeling. It's like they forgot how to win. I don't think they're going to win this one. I'll take the Bears at home. Next game, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road to defeat the Cincinnati Bengals. This game doesn't require extensive analysis. The Pittsburgh Steelers are just simply a better team right now. The Bengals have lost 12 consecutive games. They're averaging under 15 points per game, and they're allowing about 28 points per game. Pittsburgh Steelers' running game may not be stupendous, but the Bengals are dead last in run defense in terms of rushing yards allowed per game. I see the Steelers being very resilient, bouncing back after a terrible game against the Cleveland Browns. I don't think Mike Tomlin's gonna allow two consecutive terrible games to take place. Steelers are one of the best teams in takeaways in the NFL. I think they're gonna win the turnover battle and win this game. I like Pittsburgh on the road to get this done. Next game. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns at home to defeat the Miami Dolphins. Can you say resurgent Cleveland Browns? Well, I can. They've won two straight games. They got their swagger back a little. I think running back Nick Chubb is going to have a very good game. The Miami run game is terrible, to say the least. They're number 31 in rushing yards allowed per game. They're also a lamentable road team, just 2-10 on the road since 2018. They're one of the worst teams in first downs in the NFL. Cleveland will just have a few more sustained drives, and it's going to be enough for them to win this game. So I'm going to take Cleveland to get this one at home, and I think Baker Mayfield for the Browns, he should have it fairly quiet and when they get in that red zone. So I don't think he's going to have that much to worry about going against the Dolphins in this one. So I'll take Cleveland at home. Next game. I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints at home to defeat the Carolina Panthers. It was a good bounce-back win for the Saints last week. Wide receiver Michael Thomas, I think, could have a field day against that Carolina secondary. The Carolina Panthers, yeah, they do have running back Christian McCaffrey. They could have one of the better running attacks in the NFL. But the Saints are number 3 in rushing yards allowed per game. The Carolina has not looked that good in recent weeks, and they're also they allowed nearly 300 passing yards last week. So their pass defense is a little bit exploited last week. And the Carolina Panthers, I mean, they just cannot put any points on the board lately. They've had like 9 points in the last 6 quarters. And I think Carolina's offense might actually continue to struggle in this one. So I'm going to take the Saints to win this one at home. Now, the next game. Well, I'm going to take the Oakland Raiders reluctantly to defeat the New York Jets. Oakland Raiders are on the road in this one. The Jets, I mean, they're somewhat resurgent. They've won 2 games in a row. They've had 68 points in the last 2 weeks. I mean, this is an offense that was just simply, completely pitiful. Previously, it seemed like, and all of a sudden, the Jets are just putting up all these points, but they did it against the Giants, and then one game, and then the Washington Redskins in the next game. Now, I don't think they're going to do that against the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders have won 3 consecutive games. They have, they've completed over 72% of their passes. Now they're just 1-3 on the road in this game, but I don't know if they're going to have that much trouble against the New York Jets. And the Oakland Raiders actually have an improved pass rush over last season. They have 25 defensive sacks this season, and I just think it's going to get to that New York I think they're going to get to that offensive line. I think that's going to be a problem in this game. I think they're going to win that battle as far as the pass rush against the players are going to protect the quarterback, the O-line for the Jets. That's going to pay huge dividends in the outcome of this game. So I'm going to take the Oakland Raiders to get this one done on the road. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks to win on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Seahawks have won 3 consecutive games. They're flawless 5-0 on the road this season, 23 passing touchdowns. I like Russell Wilson's legs in this game to get this done. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles are ravaged with injuries. The 2 top receivers may be out in this game, and they're also despite being desperate, I don't think that's really going to make that much difference in this particular game. The Eagles have like 1 touchdown in the last 5 quarters they played. The offense has been anemic recently. I just don't think they have enough horses to get this job done in this game. So I'm going to take Seattle to win this one on the road. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Detroit Lions on the road to defeat the Washington Redskins. Now, Detroit right now, quarterback Matt Stafford is going to be out. Their quarterback they have now showed some life last week. The offense looked like it was a little bit rejuvenated. It's getting a little bit more comfortable with their new quarterback. Detroit is still averaging about 24 points per game. Now, Washington, I mean, they've lost 11 out of 12 since last season. Their one victory this season was against the Dolphins. Washington is a perfect 0-5 at home this season. I mean, that's just abominable to have that kind of record at home. And also, they're dead last in passing yards per game. So I look at this. I mean, Detroit's pass defense may not exactly be stupendous, but they may not have much to worry about in this particular matchup. And Detroit is also near the middle of the pack in time of possession in the NFL. While Washington is dead last, Detroit will have more sustained drives. They're going to hold on to the ball a little bit longer, and that's going to make the big difference in this game. So I'm going to take Detroit to get this one done on the road. Next game. I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans at home to defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tennessee has dominated this series against the Jags in recent time. They've won 4 of 5 from them. I think running back Derrick Henry can have a really good game in this particular matchup. Jacksonville is one of the worst teams against the run in the NFL, number 29 in the NFL, and they've also lost 5 consecutive games at Tennessee, and they've lost 2 straight overall, being dominating those games, losing. They've been outscored 59-16. The offense just can't seem to generate any offense right now. The Jaguars, I'm not sure what Nick Foles is going to be able to do in this particular game. And Tennessee has had Jacksonville's number in recent time. Yeah, Jacksonville won earlier this season, but that was with Marcus Mariota. And Tennessee right now is playing much better with Ryan Tannehill as at quarterback for them. So I like Tennessee to get this job done at home. Next game, I'm going to take the New England Patriots at home to defeat the Dallas Cowboys. Now, New England right now, they're 18-2 in their last 20 home games. I mean, the team is almost invincible at home. It's a team right now that also number 1 scoring defense and one of the best teams in time of possession, number 4 in time of possession. And you look at this team and one of the better teams in turnover differential. Now, Dallas, even though just 6-4, they're one of the better offenses, more prolific offenses in the NFL, number 1 in total offense, and they're also one of the best teams in passing yards per game. They had 509 offensive yards last week. It certainly could be a very good offensive matchup, but I think when I look at this game, New England, the difference in this game is going to be New England, their secondary, their defense in general in this particular matchup. I think the pass defense is going to be really key. They got, as far as defensive interceptions go, they're among the league leaders. I think it's going to make a big difference in this particular game. And New England generally just doesn't lose at home. So I'm going to take New England to get this done at home. Next game. Well, this one's a real tough game to pick, but I'm going to take reluctantly Green Bay on the road to get things done against the 49ers. Green Bay is 3-1 on the road this season. The one loss they had was to the LA Chargers. But in this game too, they've also, Aaron Rodgers, I think, is going to be the X factor in this game. And they also actually have given Aaron Rodgers a little bit of a defense. I mean, the defense has given up 20.5 points per game, and they also have a little bit, I would say maybe a little better pass rush than they may have had in previous seasons, and they've won the last 2 games against the 49ers. San Francisco, though, they are 4-1 at home this season. They are certainly a team right now that is still one of the better teams in the NFL. 22 takeaways. They have 39 defensive sacks and 11 defensive interceptions. It's certainly going to give Green Bay all they can handle, and they're averaging 29.5 points per game. But I want to see if they could really be. I know they beat a Carolina team that was over 500 going into that game. They defeated the Rams this season, but they had trouble against Seattle in their in that game, and I wonder if they're gonna. I mean, in Seattle's what I would consider a really elite or upper echelon team, and Green Bay is the same. I want to see if they could actually get this done against Green Bay. I'm not sure if they can do it, but so I'm going to take Green Bay in this particular game. A little more experienced quarterback. I think it's going to make the difference in this game. So I'm going to take the Packers to win on the road. Last but not least, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to win on the road against the LA Rams. Now, Baltimore, they might not have that ravenous defense they had in previous seasons, but they do have #1 rushing attack in the NFL. They've won 6 consecutive games, #1 in time of possession. You look at the Rams right now. The Rams did play well, but that was against the Bears last week. They won like 17-7 or 17-10, and they still didn't really look that impressive. The Bears were in that game until like the fourth quarter, and you look at this game as well. And you're also looking at a Rams team that is actually one of the worst in time of possession in the NFL. Now, Baltimore right now, they're just clicking on all cylinders, and even their field goal unit has been outstanding. 19 of 20 field goals made, and they're also #2 in first downs in the NFL, #2 in total offense, and the scoring offense has been phenomenal. They're putting up points like there is no tomorrow. I just think it's going to be too much offense for Baltimore. I don't think the Rams can match it in this game, so I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to get this done on the road. Anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment. And until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.